Alright, so let's listen to this stone cold liar. Listen to this stone cold liar, okay?
Driving without a valid license. During this operation,
Okay, so he just described the illegal immigrant, or the person that they were targeting. They were saying that there was some guy that had, a bunch of charges, domestic violence, and something else, and the traffic thing, or the car thing. So now we're going to talk about Alex Pretty. Now they're going to say that he approached ICE. Not that ICE got out of the car and started shoving the two women that was in front, that was by them. Alex Pretty was 20 feet away. And he never approached them. Not one time did Alex Pretty approach them. He directed traffic. He was off to the side. The camera goes down. The camera comes up. We see the guy that was in the car just shoving the shit out of the women. And then Alex Pretty tends to the woman. And then they started shoving him. And then they started spraying him with bear mace. And then as he was hanging on to the woman, they grabbed a hold of him. And they pulled him off of the woman. They put him down on the ground. And then within 5 seconds, somebody pulled out a gun and shot him 5 times. 5 shots. And then as soon as they shot and killed him, they scattered. They ran off. So listen to this liar say that Alex Pretty approached him, which he did not.
an individual approached U.S. Border Patrol agents.
An individual, let's say his name. Alex Jeffrey, I think they're saying Pretty, but it looks like Pretty. First they killed Good, now they're killing Pretty. Alex Jeffrey Pretty. I'm going to keep saying Pretty just so it gets lodged in your head. So Alex Jeffrey Pretty, a 37-year-old, a registered nurse, an athlete, a son, and a brother with ties to Colorado and Wisconsin. That's who you're talking about. Not an individual, not a subject, but a person, a human being, an American, with an entire Bill of Rights backing him up. A citizen, a resident of Minneapolis.
With a 9mm semi-automatic handgun.
Oh, shit! So somewhere there was a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. And there's 2 magazines, too. But the video never shows him pulling it out. The video never shows it even in his hands. He had a camera phone in his right hand. He had a camera phone in his right hand, which that'll be interesting to see that footage. Let's see the situation through Alex Pretty's eyes. Let's see the situation through his... Let's get that footage off that cell phone. Where did that cell phone go? Because if they try to delete that footage, then that would be tampering with evidence. But at no point in time does he pull the weapon. He doesn't approach them with a gun. He doesn't approach them. He doesn't have a gun pulled in his hand, approaching ICE officers, ready to blaze away. He's not a Russian terrorist. He wasn't trained by bin Laden. This is not a domestic terrorist. We do not need the war on terrorism to go against us. And it's fascinating. January 6th, sons of bitches, will say that wasn't an insurrection, that wasn't a riot, that wasn't a violent protest. All those people deserve to be pardoned. So somewhere he had a concealed weapon. He's an American. He's got the Second Amendment. And what's the point of the Second Amendment? To stop a tyrannical government. That's the point of the Second Amendment. Where the fuck are the Second Amendment people at? Where the fuck are the Second Amendment people at? Bunch of cowards. Bunch of bootlicking cowards. The point of the Second Amendment is to stop a tyrannical fascist government who's out of control. And then I also noticed the scene afterwards. They're saying, look at the dumpsters, look at the fence, and they're, pulling things and obstructing the street and all this other stuff. There was no cops, no local, state, or federal cops right where Alex Pretty was shot and murdered. There was no police officers whatsoever. And it was not a chaotic scene. It was not crazy. We just had that million-man march in Minneapolis yesterday. Were there any incidents of violence or anybody getting shot? So 1 million Minnesotans, 1 million Minneapolians, they can assemble without anybody getting hurt. But the moment you put ICE on the scene, now they're just swinging, now they're just shoving, now they're just pulling, now they're just bear macing. Then they put the guy to the ground, and yeah, the guy was fighting, just naturally. I mean, you could say temporary insanity, but resistance to tyranny is obedience to God. That comes straight from the American Revolution. Resistance to tyranny is obedience to God.
The agents attempted to disarm the individual, but he violently resisted.
They tried to disarm him. That was not what the fuck they was doing. He was tending to the woman. He directed traffic. He was 20 feet away. He was tending to the woman, and they pulled him off of the woman. They started pushing him and bear macing him. So they're making it sound like he came up on them just guns blazing, and if he's got a 9mm semi-automatic with 2 magazines, how come he wasn't shooting already? This is horse shit. They are straight up lying to us. And okay, you dressed in, and look at this uniform he's got on. This little fucking sash across this fucking... This looks like Nazi shit.
Fearing for his life and the lives and safety of fellow officers, a Border Patrol agent fired defensive...
Yeah, of course. Always fearing for their lives, yeah. Yeah, he looked like he was scared. They didn't look like they were afraid whatsoever. They were swinging at anybody and everybody as if they have absolute immunity to do whatever the hell they want to do. Break all of our Bill of Rights, break the Constitution, break this country. They were not afraid. They weren't afraid. They were not scared. They were not scared in the least bit. And defensive shots, you motherfucker. If you weren't even on the fucking scene, nothing would have fucking happened. They get out of the damn car. They start shoving 2 women. And they kept shoving them. They shoved the women across the street. So they shoved them from one side of the street to the other side of the street. When Alex Pretty was tending to one of the women, they started shoving him. They started spraying him with bear mace. And then when he was hanging on to the woman, they pulled him off. It looked like he was like holding on to the woman as if, hey, no, don't take me away. They pulled him off of the woman because he was, saying, hey, I care about you, and had his, hands on her like a registered nurse taking care of one of his patients. But when they started pulling on him, he's grabbing a hold of her like, hang on to me, I'll hang on to you, you hang on to me. Then they put him down on the ground, and then they executed him within 5 seconds. Yeah, I guess when you have, 10 fucking goons trying to hurt you, maybe you don't just goddamn say, okay, go to the concentration camp, get lost in the goddamn motherfucking, go to Alligator, Alcatraz for months on end, while eventually, they'll transfer you to 3 different prisons because they don't want you to see a judge. 9 months later, you eventually see a fucking judge. So it's either go to a goddamn concentration camp or get fucking murdered. That's the choice that they're putting. And this is all intentional. He wants to fucking goddamn invoke the Insurrection Act. Provoke. Well, shit, now I gotta send in the fucking Marines. Now I gotta call the U.S. Army and the Coast Guard. Now I gotta get Air Force on this thing. Yeah, Air Force, they're calling the National Guard. The state officials are.
Shots. Medics on the scene immediately delivered medical aid to the...
They were pretty quick. They all scattered, and then there was some medical attention, within, seconds or whatever. So, not immediate. The word immediate means, the shot happened, and then there was medic right there. So, within a minute.
Subject, but the subject was pronounced dead.
Oh, the subject pronounced dead. Did you hear the way he said it? With no fucking heart whatsoever. He was dead. ICE just killed another American. ICE just murdered another American. Just killed another American dead.
At the scene. The suspect also had 2 loaded magazines and no accessible ID.
The suspect, you just went from the immigrant being the suspect to the American citizen that had a camera phone, directing traffic, helping a woman out. Now he's the suspect, huh? Now he's the suspect? The suspect is the motherfucker that came out of the damn car swinging, pushing the damn women, pushing the women, spraying bear mace, swinging, and then grabbing a hold, putting hands on one of us American citizens. They want to claim absolute immunity. We have immunities too. It's called the Bill of Rights. Those are our legal privileges as a function of our citizenship.
This looks like a situation where an individual wanted to do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement.
Oh man, is that what the situation was? Yeah, you fucked up. This isn't Bin Laden. This isn't a Russian fucking terrorist. This isn't goddamn Mossad. This isn't Israeli motherfucking genocide. Everything that they're saying is what they were doing. Everything that they were saying is exactly what they were doing. They were the fucking thugs. They're the ones with fucking guns. They're the ones that intended to goddamn murder people. They want to do maximum damage to us. They want to do maximum damage.
Then, about 200 rioters arrived at the scene and began to obstruct and assault law enforcement.
Okay, 200 rioters. Oh no, not rioters. Fucking bullshit. Every word out of these motherfuckers' mouths are fucking bullshit. We even got a statement from the president. You want to know what the president said? Let's check out what the president had to say, okay? So the president's going to weigh in. What is our, the leader of the free world? What's the leader of the free world going to say? Well, the leader of the free world, he's going to go ahead and, try to, de-escalate the situation. He isn't just going to cover up a fucking murder. That isn't what he's going to fucking do. He's not just a murdering, psychopathic piece of shit who's on the Epstein files, invaded Venezuela, wants to bomb Iran, wants to steal Greenland, wants to shoot American troops. That's not who he is. He isn't just an old, deluded, demented, motherfucker who's trying to get his name off the fucking headlines in the Epstein list because he was with goddamn Epstein raping kids for over 10 years. That's not what our president is doing. Trying to justify a murder. He said he could kill somebody on 5th Avenue and people would still suck his dick. This is the gunman's gun loaded with 2 additional full magazines and ready to go. What is that all about? Where are the local police? Why weren't they allowed to protect ICE officers? The mayor and the governor called them off. It stated that many of these police were not allowed to do their job, that ICE had to protect themselves. They had to protect, you're the invading military force. Not an easy thing to do. Why does Ilhan Omar have $34 million in her account? What the fuck are you talking about now? Now you're going to go after the brown-skinned congresswoman? Oh, and by the way, we have a brown-skinned congresswoman. And where are the tens of billions of dollars that have been stolen from the once great state of Minnesota? The once great state? This is putting Minnesota on a map. I'm a Minnesotan now. I'm a Minnesotan today. And every good red-blooded, red, white, and blue American, we're all Minnesotans today. We are there because of the massive monetary fraud. Oh, I thought it was immigration. Oh, it's there for the monetary fraud? Oh, okay, now we're changing the whole damn thing. This is the Iraq War. We went there for weapons of mass destruction, right? Then it was for democracy. Then it was just for hegemony and to steal their damn oil. With billions of dollars missing, illegal criminals that are allowed to infiltrate the state through the Democrats' open border policy, we want the money back, and we want it back now. So this was just a shakedown. They just want to steal the money. Who they steal the money from? Alex Pretty didn't take any of the fucking money. Those fraudsters who stole the money are going to jail where they belong. This is no different than a really big bank robbery. Much of what you're witnessing, we're going to protect the banksters now, huh? Big finance, yeah, they care about the 99%. Big finance don't give a fuck about us. Our bank and monetary policies are bullshit. Our bank and monetary policies don't help any of us out. Much of what you're witnessing is a cover-up for this theft and fraud. A cover-up? Yeah, that's what you're doing right now. President, pedophile president, you're covering up a murder. The mayor and the governor are inciting insurrection with their pompous, dangerous, and arrogant rhetoric. Oh, okay, yeah, not you with all your caps and all your fucking bullshit nonstop. Instead, these sanctimonious political fools should be looking for the billions of dollars that has been stolen from the people of Minnesota and the United States of America. Let our ICE patriots do their job. All capital. 12,000 illegal alien criminals, many of them violent, have been arrested and taken out of Minnesota. If they were still there, you would see something far worse than you are witnessing today. Okay, boy, that's going to really help de-escalate things. Thank God. Thank God that motherfucker is de-escalating things. So, let's just point out the big lies. The big lies, right? It was fully loaded and ready to go. Fully loaded with 2 magazines, ready to go. And then what is that all about? Just a question now. He's just asking questions, not making any declarations. If anything, if Alex Pretty would have came up locked and loaded and ready to blaze away, maybe he would have died. Maybe not. Maybe he would have lived. So I just want to document the lies. They just come out with these fucking lies and we're supposed to ignore our own eyeballs. Maybe he was resisting. Yeah, because if somebody grabs you from behind, you did nothing fucking wrong. What's the probable cause? Why did you start shoving Alex Pretty? What was your probable cause? What was the event precipitating the event? Why did you put your hands on Alex Pretty? Because he had a camera phone and he was 20 feet away? Because he directed traffic? Because he was tending to one of the women you were beating up? He was tending to one of the women you were beating up and you just could not fucking stand that shit. You wanted to keep on beating a woman and then he had put his body in between her and you. And because he put his body between you and her, well, that pissed you the fuck off, and then you started shoving him, and then you sprayed him in the face with bear mace. Don't he have a right to defend himself? Of course he fucking does. As soon as some douchebag with a goddamn badge wants to put his hands on you and kidnap you, you're just supposed to say, oh, okay, I'll just go away with you. Go ahead and send me to Alligator Alcatraz. I'll just go ahead and get... Yeah, that's the fucking problem. They'll go after the fucking law-abiding people and they'll fuck over the law-abiding people and they'll let the criminals escape scot-free. There's a murder on the loose, so why don't you arrest one of your own? Show us that the American court system is actually working. You're not putting mask up on your face because you're a bunch of criminal sons of bitches and the American court system works. So go ahead and just put the charges on him, make him go through the criminal justice system, put him in front of a jury of 12 of his peers. First you gotta get that indictment right. That's what the Fifth Amendment says. Get the grand jury. If the grand jury fails to indict, the cop gets to walk away feeling somewhat vindicated. If a jury of his peers acquits him, then that means our system says, oh, we saw the incident, we saw what had happened, and he had no other choice. That ICE officer had no other choice. He literally was just defending himself. So get that stamp of approval from a jury of your peers. Get that verdict. Show us that the American court system is actually working. This ain't just a police state where the prosecutors and the fucking judges just blindly rubber stamp any cop, murder, kidnapping, assault, rape. That isn't what this country's about. A police state with public officials blindly rubber stamping them? Give me a fucking break.